This is the 5 tech things that you should know about episode number 54 for September 3rd, 2010, and it's brought to you by mosey.com. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, TV-azine with Association of Geek-azine, brought to you over on VodPod, brought to you over on YouTube, brought to you by the techpodcast.tv network. If it's tech and it's video, then it's right here. You can find us all on here, child-safe, friendly shows where you can find out all about tech. And you can contact me simply by emailing me at geekazine@gmail.com or call me at my number at 608-205-4378. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to Blog World. I've talked about this before. I'm talking about again, why is Blog World so important? Because I'm a podcaster, I'm a videocaster. I need to learn about new content, new creations, and you can too. If you're going to Blog World and you've got a camera, you should make a 1-minute video and then send it to Jeffrey at blogworldexpo.com. That's Jeffrey at blogworldexpo.com, and you'll be on the Blog World newsletter. Good exposure for you, so get started and get recording and see where that gets you. In the meantime, Blog World New Media Expo, October 14th through the 16th. You got a couple weeks before the next set of special rates expire, so get those rates now. Go to Geekazine and just click on the link, and that'll take you exactly where you need to go. Blog World New Media Expo, you should be there. It's going to be a lot of cool people and a lot of great information for you. All right, folks, it's your life online. You should back it up now, back it up often, and back it up off-site. We've been talking about this one guy from Michigan who actually had Mosey Home Unlimited running on his computer. Somebody stole his laptop, and he was able to get his laptop back because Mosey started running, and they could pinpoint where the thief was, which was great. It's amazing what you can get with Mosey Home Unlimited. Security was just an added bonus. Code GEEK gets you 10% off that already low price. 10% off, $4.95 a month per computer. It's the price of a hard drive a year, so you can't go wrong there. And get an additional 10% off. It's just a perfect thing to back up now, back up often, back up offsite with mosey.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the content. Of course, Apple had their big event, and for the first time, that event was actually streamed. I think I know why. You could only watch the event live if you were on an iPhone, a Mac, an iPod, or any device that was Apple. You couldn't use it on Windows. You couldn't watch it on an Android device. It had to be Apple. So Steve Jobs, of course, the big news. We're going to talk about Apple TV in a second here, but they had some great products come out, including the iPod Touch with the FaceTime application. Hook up to 3G and be able to talk to people. A lot of people are saying this is perfect device for teenagers, as they can talk back and forth with their friends and do a lot of things. I'm wondering if this is going to be like a new version of Chat Roulette coming out. There's a possibility there, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Other new cool little features, the iPod Shuffle got a brand new rebranding to the Shuffle, made it easier for people that do jogging or any type of physical activity. Go out there, you just have that thing clipped on, and it's out of the way. You don't have to worry about it, bottom line. And then, of course, the iPod Nano. iPad Nano lost the camera, but it gained a little bit more functionality in that screen. The screen, of course, became a little bit more square, so you'll be able to watch a lot more from your iPod Nano, and a little bit bigger. Instead of really, really small screen, you got a bigger small screen. I don't know. Pretty good price points, especially with the iPod Touch, $229, and you could be doing all the iOS 4 stuff that your iPhone 3GS can't do. Now, this is perfect for somebody with a 3G or 3GS, because then they can get something that'll do FaceTime without having to buy a brand new phone, which would be $400 to $500. Of course, the biggest news was Apple and their Apple TV. Small enough you can fit in your hand, 1/4 the size of the last version of Apple TV. Took them 4 years to figure out. And it works pretty good for a $99 price point. It's got HDMI, so if you've got a big screen flat panel TV that does take HDMI, you will be able to use it. However, If you don't have an HDMI system, then you're pretty much out of luck. It runs Apple stuff. There's no applications for it like some of these other boxes out there, so you won't be able to get some customized shows. But anything that has an iTunes RSS to it, you'll be able to get. You'll have some other cool stuff. You'll be able to access places. You'll be able to access movies. 99 cents to rent a show. It's all rentals now. It's not buying your content. It's renting your content. 99 cents a show. I think it was $2.99 to $4.99 or more for a movie. So there's some trade-offs there. It's pretty good, but I'm still not impressed with Apple TV. $99 is a great price point, but let me tell you something. We've got a lot of other options out there. We've got the Pop Box. We've got the TiVo, which has been around forever. They do applications right on their DVR system. You've got the Boxy Box, a little bit more pricey, but it does full 1080p video, whereas the Apple TV only does 720p video. Not 1080p video, and definitely not 1080i video. And of course, the Roku, which I think is probably the best deal out of all of them, because it's the same price as the Apple TV. It's got more connections, so if you have a standard TV, if you've only got an S-Video connection, as opposed to an HDMI connection, which has really only been in TVs last year to 2 years now, so even if you have a flat panel TV, you might not have an HDMI cable to it. The Roku gives you the option to hook in many different ways. It's for the price point, it's comparable to the Apple TV. It might be run a little bit hotter, it might be a little bit larger, but it's still probably your best buy out there. Apple TV needs to think about things a little bit more. They got the wireless end, that's great, but now that's going to become standard on every single box. I think that's not really a feature anymore. It's just got to be a necessity. So my choice out of all the boxes is for the Roku HD XD, which is $99.99 and does play 1080p videos. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you still have a desktop, or did you switch over to your laptop or your iPad or your iPhone or whatever? Well, there's a lot of people that are finding that they don't need the conventional desktop anymore. As your kids are going back to school, they're saying, I want a laptop, I want an iPad, I want this and that and the other thing. I think unless you're a real gamer, you would want a desktop of any type. So the question is, within the next 365 days, will desktops actually be extinct to the point where people don't want them? They just want laptops. They want to get on their information and go, especially with some of these wireless services like AT&T Uverse, where you can connect up anywhere as long as you have a wireless card in it. It really makes you think, what's going to happen to the desktop machine? What's going to happen to your old desktop machine? Is that going to be put in a corner collecting dust, or are you actually going to use it? Do you need to update that CRT to an LCD model? I don't know. You just need to get a laptop and be done with it. Well, you know, one thing you want to be careful of is when you do switch to a laptop, you got to be aware of your data, where your laptop is. You never know what's going to happen. They're more prone to theft, they're more prone to damage, they're more prone for you losing your computer. So that's why you need to do your backups, that's why you need to make sure your computer is in top shape and just wipe the dust off the back of it. As for a desktop, I suppose if I had the right laptop, I could get rid of my desktop in a heartbeat, but it's a pretty fast desktop, and I need to have all the functionality that I do on my desktop, including FireWire, including eSATA, including the ability to add cards. If I can do that, I'll definitely switch from my desktop to a laptop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's school time. Of course, school started for some of you. Others might not have to wait until after Labor Day before school starts. And then there's others that just school has not stopped for everybody else. For the last few weeks, we've been talking about some really cool tech items. And of course, this week is no exception. This week, it's for you college students out there that need a pickup in your wake up. And it is called the Krug Coffee System. It is 1 cup brewing, 60 seconds, and you got a full cup of coffee. You chug that thing down, you go to classes, you're all happy. The price point's about $100. I've seen some for $100, I've seen some for $130. But you do have to buy the coffee system. It's like these little coffee things that look like they're creamers. You put them into the system, they punch down in there, and then they spill out and they mix it with the water, so you'll have a nice cup of coffee, nice hot cup of coffee. Pretty good price point. You can set it so you can wake up and there's a cup of coffee for you. You got a lot of cool options with this coffee maker. So this is our last pick of the week for back to school week. So hopefully you're a coffee drinker and you might want to check this out. If not, there are some other great coffee maker alternatives that don't have the flavored coffee. They just have regular organic coffee. Maybe that's what you're into. I myself like a little bit of amaretto or hazelnut in my coffee. All right, a little bit of happy birthdays go out to Google. Today on September 3rd, Google Chrome turns 2 years old. So happy birthday to Google Chrome. But on Saturday, September 4th, Google itself has turned 12 years old. Yes, Sergey Brin and Lawrence Page started Google 12 years ago. I remember when Google came online, I was using Yahoo Search and Metacrawler and Dogpile. And when Google came online, it was just like this brand new search engine. Everybody had to use it. And that was back in 1998. So we were just getting into Windows 98 from Windows 95. And we were just kind of learning all about the internet and all that other good stuff. So 12 years later, look at what Google's done. You have Google Buzz. Well, you had Google Wave. Now that's kind of gone. You have Google Gmail, and now you have Google TV on the way, and Google this, Google that, Google the other thing, and you might even have Google Fiber. That's a lot for 12 years. What have you done in 12 years? That's a good question to be asking. What have I done in 12 years? Well, I started this show. That's one good feat, right? Happy birthday to Google and Google Chrome. And finally, the Commodore is back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yes, the Commodore Amiga is back. Kind of. Commodore USA, which has kind of been a little bit cheesy, they decided, okay, we want the brand name Amiga. So they said, hey, we want the rights to Amiga. They got the rights. Well, it was all good until Hyperion, which is a Belgium-based company, came back and said, wait a minute, we have the rights to Amiga. We've been putting together this really cool thing called the Amiga 1X1000. So now Hyperion is suing Commodore USA for the rights. So we're not there with Commodore yet. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're just going to have to wait for Commodore. It's not going to be like the old Commodores anyway. You're not going to have a video toaster in it. You're not going to have some cool thing, graphics or anything like that. If you really want to check out the graphics, watch an old episode of Babylon 5. Most of those graphics were done on a Commodore Amiga. Can't go wrong there. It's a lot. It's still got some validity to it. Although nowadays the Commodores will probably be, Intel processors and Android operating systems reworked for Commodore. It's just the way things go nowadays. The Commodore system that they did put out, Commodore USA, I wasn't too impressed. I thought that there should be a little bit more powerful video card, a good gaming system, or a good graphics system. I wouldn't buy it. I'd go out and buy a regular run-of-the-mill PC and put in my own cards. I don't want to buy the name. I want to buy power off of Commodore. So Commodore USA, if you do get the full rights to that to put out the Amiga, think about what's on the inside of your Amiga so you can gear it towards gamers. Because like I said, desktops are going the way of the dodo. Why should I buy a Commodore Amiga desktop? And that is the 5 tech things that you should know about. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.geekazine.com, 608-205-4378 is the phone number, geekazine@gmail.com if you'd like to email me, send me any pictures, send me t-shirts, send me anything. You can even say hi. You can do that. So thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you next week on the 5 tech things that you should know about. Take care.